The Disability Law Center. Your rights matter. The Vocational Rehabilitation or VR program is a federal program that helps people with disabilities find a job, keep a job, or get a better job. Utah's Vocational Rehabilitation program is part of the Utah State Office of Rehabilitation. The VR program helps people whose disability presents a barrier to their employment. That means that their disability makes it harder for them to work or find a job. The law says that 4 things need to be true in order for a person to be eligible for VR services. 1. You must have a physical or mental impairment. 2. The impairment must be or result in a substantial impediment to employment. That means your disability causes problems with finding, getting, or keeping a job. 3. You must require VR services to obtain or maintain employment. That means you would benefit from VR's help. And 4, you must want to work. Remember, if you receive Social Security disability benefits like SSI or SSDI, you are already eligible for VR services. You can apply for VR services by calling your local VR office or by visiting their website. You will need to fill out an application and provide information about your disability and how it impacts your ability to work. If VR needs more information about your disability, they can help you get the records or the assessments you need. When applying, make sure to explain how your disability affects your ability to work. For example, if your disability makes it difficult for you to learn new tasks at a job, or if your disability makes it hard for you to do the same kind of work that you used to do. If your barrier to work is not related to your disability, for example, if you just don't like your job and want training to get a new job, VR services might not be appropriate. If you are unsure if VR services are right for you, filling out an application is a great first step. Once you've applied, VR has 60 days to decide if you are eligible. They will send you a letter explaining their decision and reasoning. If you are found eligible, you might be able to get services right away. But if VR doesn't have enough resources to serve all the eligible people at that time, you may be put on a wait list. This is called an order of selection. Once you are found eligible, you will be assigned a VR counselor. Over the next 90 days, you and your counselor will work together to create an individualized plan for employment. An individualized plan for employment, or IPE, is a document that lists the job goal you are working towards and the services you need to achieve it. Your job goal is the type of work you want to do, like being a welder, office assistant, or a nurse. Your VR counselor will help you select a job goal that matches your interests and abilities. This goal will be written down in your IPE along with your responsibilities to achieve it. VR will not provide you with services that do not help you achieve your job goal. For example, if your goal is to become a software developer, VR won't support you in obtaining a degree in English because that isn't training you would need. VR might, however, support a degree in computer science. Depending on your job goal and needs, VR may be able to provide services like education and training, transportation, medical appointments and medication, tools and technology, counseling and guidance, and therapy. In some cases, VR is able to cover the entire cost of these services. If you receive Social Security disability benefits, most of your VR services will be covered, with some exceptions. But depending on your financial situation, you may need to cover some of the cost too. VR should let you know what you need to pay, if anything, before providing services. Over time, your job goals or service needs might change. If they do, you can change your IPE accordingly so that you and your counselor can keep track of what you need. As a VR client, you are in charge of making decisions about your job goal, services, and who provides you services. VR calls this decision-making power informed choice. Don't be afraid to tell VR what you want and need. If you feel that your counselor isn't understanding or supporting your choices, you have the right to appeal or to get help from an advocate. Here are some tips for working with VR. Be specific with your counselor about what your interests and needs are. Keep track of paperwork and take notes during your meetings about what you are doing to work towards your job goal. Regularly communicate with your counselor about important updates and changes. and ask questions if you are unsure about anything. If you have questions or concerns about VR services, you can contact the Client Assistance Program, or CAP, at the Disability Law Center for help. You also have the right to talk to your counselor's supervisor or appeal VR's decisions on your own. Contact us for free at 800-662-9080 using Sorensen Video Relay, or visit our website at disabilitylawcenter.org for more information or to get help. The Disability Law Center's services are provided statewide and free of charge. We serve Utahns regardless of their disability, income, and legal status.